planted here and the benefits. Then I will wrap up my speech by talking about the benefits of investing into oil palm. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. My name is Yusuf Sanusi, the farm manager for Zenytal Palmplace. It's so nice to have all of us here to join us on this journey. I'll call it a journey because tree crop, as we all know, is a long-term crop. And the reason why it's a long-term crop because the proceeds keep coming on an annual basis from the time you start harvesting. And it's crucial because investment now has to be sensitive to sustainability. That is one of the reasons why oil palm was chosen for this project. Secondly, is that it's not just enough to just select a crop type. It's also important to select a crop type that gives you what I would call sustainability and adaptability to your immediate environment. Because one of the challenges we do have is that a number of people often consider investment and tree crop type without considering the immediate environment. So you have to look at the combination of two to have the best result. And that led us to the kind of variety we adopted, which is Tenera. You can Google Tenera at your convenience. It is the most, how would I call it now? It's the most recommendable variety, especially when you are going commercial. And it is also hybrid. It is more like improved variety. So they are getting better productivity in terms of yield, in terms of disease resistance, in terms of even management itself. Because when you look far back at our indigenous variety that we used to have, there used to be these very tall oil palm varieties. I don't know if you're familiar with that. So that is one of the things our scientists have worked on to ensure that with ease in harvesting, it brings ease in management. So when you have an oil palm variety that is an average of, let's say, my height is around
5 points.
I'm around less than 2 meters. I'm around 6 feet 3 inches. When I have an oil palm that is around 9 to 10 feet at most, that gives you the leverage to manage easily. And when you now look at the yield, which is also very important, which is the center of why we're investing in this, the yield is very promising with an average of 15 to 20, 25 tons FFP. FFP is fresh from per bundle. Exactly, fresh farm bunch per bundle. So when you now convert that at a conversion ratio of 20%, so that gives you a significant in terms of yield compared to our normal indigenous variety. So you can comfortably say that this is a variety that gives you assurance, that gives you credibility, and also gives you, most importantly, durability. Because that is one of the things people overlook when going into crop farming. They just look at the yield, they look at how fast it is to start any farm, but they don't look at the durability. Because the durability is something that can tell you that you can keep earning XYZ amount for the next 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. That is the difference compared to varieties that will give you productivity in less than 10 years. So those are some of the things that makes this strategic investment unique from what you have. Then another thing I would like to mention to wrap up is that this kind of investment is what we call in the agricultural sector cluster farming. Now, what is cluster farming? Cluster farming simply means different investors coming together to partner within a confined area. Now, if you look at it individually, if you want to set up this kind of investment, these are the things you will go through. You will procure a land yourself. You will put in infrastructure in place yourself. You will put in security in place yourself. You will put in technical management and all yourself. Now, when you now look at those individual costs, compared to you coming together with people to partner with them, you will be removing some overhead costs. So that increases your revenue margin and shortens your capital investment. So those are some of the strategic things that makes this kind of investment very, very considerable. And that is what even the big firms are doing now. They are merging to look at ways they can cut costs, minimize risk, and increase profitability. So by conclusion, I would say that this kind of investment gives you assurance that you're on the right step, and in particular the crop type you're dealing with a credible crop, a credible variety that gives you assurance, especially in terms of productivity and durability. Thank you very much.